best player I've watched but with my own two eyes in the stadium.
So look at these names. So you're putting Thierry on the right. That's disrespect.
No, I'm not.
Huge game this weekend between Arsenal and your beloved Chelsea live on Sky. So we thought now would be the perfect time for a little combined 11 on the Saturday social whiteboard. Do you want to hit us with the rules?
Yeah, we've asked Sesko and Gyökeres to come up with their all-time Premier League exit of Chelsea and Arsenal players. Obviously, unbiased as they can be, but if they are, we've got Lias as the mediator.
The
so
well, only right. We've got a Chelsea fan and Sam, Tottenham fan. And,
so that's why we've got Lias. That's why we've got Lias.
The right players.
You haven't even started.
Cecil's tried to give me 50 slips under the table.
We must mention it was Liaz's birthday as well this week.
Oh, I see what you're doing there. You didn't tell me it was his birthday.
Okay, let's start with goalkeepers.
Who do you want, Bergkamp? I got it.
Yeah, all-time Premier League Arsenal Chelsea combined 11s. Who are you going with in goal?
Okay, well, we'll start with there shouldn't really be an argument. Yeah,
not the Arsenal one, right?
All right, early shots. No, pair check for Chelsea. Okay. There's not really much needs to be said. Unbelievable.
I think a lot of people would have him as one of the greatest keepers. Did you ever consider a Seaman? Because obviously he's in that debate in terms of...
I love David Seaman when he was in goal. Of course, he made me actually pay attention to goalkeepers. I just loved the way he was for Arsenal. He was great. I think check. Obviously, his records is I surpasses David Seaman. I actually think my greatest goalkeeper of all time, though, in the Premier League is Peter Schmeichel as well.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
what do you think, Karel? Greatest keeper in Premier League history?
This man right here. Yeah, I think he was unstoppable. Well, immovable on his day, and he's got the clean sheet record. I mean, he crawled over the line to get it at Arsenal, but at Chelsea, many good memories, especially in 2012 against Bayern. So
he was scary.
221 clean sheets, 13 major trophies in 11 seasons.
What a keeper! Wow. What a keeper! Let's get him up. Let's go with right backs then. We've got our first disagreement here, but both Chelsea.
By the way,
both Chelsea. This is
there
interesting.
There are some big omissions here, by the way. Right backs, you could have had the likes of Lauren, invincible, by the way. Ivanovic, who won 9 trophies in 9 years. Lee Dixon, who was ever present for many years. You've gone with none of those three. So Reece James.
I think Reece James is for the modern fullback is today as well. I think he's complete. I really do. Obviously by his injury record, which is what everyone will highlight. I think as a footballer, such as the invert, he can play in the midfield as well. I've seen it. And right back, I think he's complete as a right back. So I was quite surprised.
Karel, as the Chelsea fan, you've gone Azpilicueta.
I mean, I'm surprised I saw Reece James, but on ability, absolutely I have him. But Azpilicueta, captain, other than John Terry, I'd say he's probably the greatest captain we've had in the Premier League era.
Very consistent.
Very consistent. 7 out of 10 every week, but he came in playing left back, then played in a back three under Conte, then moved to right back, his actual position, and was just ever present, steady.
He played all. You're right about that. Most appearances by a non-Englishman in Chelsea history, 508. Where do you stand on this debate, though? Because there's some big omissions, aren't there, as I alluded to?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll leave Lee Dixon out respectfully because I didn't watch Lee Dixon's era, so I can't comment on him. But I think when you talk about Lauren and you talk about Ivanovic, as good as both of them are, I think you can 100% say that Azpilicueta has surpassed both of them. Agreed. Especially Ivanovic, when you talk about each's Chelsea legacy. Azpilicueta's got 2 Premier Leagues, which I believe Ivanovic also does. He wasn't there in 16-17. Or
no,
if he was. He didn't he leave halfway through the season with Antonio Conte. He won the Champions League as well too as the captain. He's won numerous cups. His longevity at that club is outrageous. His versatility. I think Azpilicueta, you could make certainly the argument he gets into Chelsea's all-time 11. Now Reece James, when it's all said and done, could end up there. I certainly think he has the ability to do so. With him, it's always been a case of maintaining fitness. But I think he's unbelievable. On ability, he might be the best of all these names. But I think Azpilicueta's Chelsea legacy is impenetrable.
Let's move on to the centre-backs. Now, there's one name that you agree on, so let's do the agreed name first. You've both gone with John Terry. Now, this has been a debate that's been raging online at the minute about who's the greatest centre-back in Premier League history. We saw John Terry being compared to Rio and Van Dijk.
Big names.
So where do you stand on the argument of who the greatest centre-back in Premier League history is?
I'd probably go Rio Ferdinand personally.
Would you?
But that's just because of my preference. But for you,
Correct.
I'm assuming as a Chelsea fan, probably would go.
Greatest, John Terry, the best, Van Dijk. For me.
Van Dijk, why?
I just love the way he plays, the reading of the game. Everyone talks about how he doesn't tackle, but if you've actually watched him live, you see the way he reads the game and puts himself in positions where he doesn't have to tackle, which everyone buzzes over when they say, if you've made a tackle, you made a mistake, and he kind of embodies that. But yeah, John Terry is right up there with him. I think they're far and away the best two.
Yes, where do you stand on this?
I like JT, man. I think JT was unbelievable. I think there's so much revisionism around his name nowadays with the deep block, and could he play in the modern game? But I think he said it himself perfectly, actually, in terms of just how John Terry read the game. You never often saw him in positions where his lack of pace, which he admitted would have been his own weakness, was really too exposed. And then you look at the ball playing, especially for his time, you look at the bravery, the leadership, the trophies, the longevity. I think John Terry is the greatest the Premier scene.
Stick him up then, no debate.
Had so many different partners as well, and won a few league titles with.
In an era as well where strikers you're playing up against two top class, world class strikers. It's a different era. When you said Virgil, I think nowadays the game it doesn't really. It's not
very different.
It's not as demanding.
It's a different game.
No, but you're marking space instead of people, which is probably just as hard.
Some of those people who are. With what they could do with a football is unheard of. We don't see
it's
it.
more of a man matchup in those days. But Carell is right as well too. I mean, nowadays you're defending higher up on the pitch. You have fullbacks that are bombing forward. I think it's just a different game. It's very difficult to compare them.
Be more aware.
I think the only way you can really do this kind of stuff is just comparing how they did in their own respective era.
Yeah.
And in his own respective era, this guy was just dominant.
Exactly. Who we got next for our second centre back then? Oh, disagreements. Sol Campbell, Ricardo Carvalho.
I think this is a good one, you know.
This is.
I think it's a really good one.
Now I was going to go Tony Adams.
I can't believe you haven't
No,
gone
I
Tony
know.
Adams.
I
can't believe
but
that.
do you know what? I went with. I loved Sol Campbell. He's my favourite centre back that I saw as well as an Arsenal fan. Tony Adams, of course, he won 4 Premier League, titles, league titles for Arsenal, and went through different eras, captain the side, the best one. The best Arsenal captain
ever.
100%. So I understand people they're gonna point things about why you're not going to Adams, but what Sol Campbell. And it's interesting you said that. Obviously, come on.
No bias aside. Tony Adams.
Tony Adams, there was a lot.
672 appearances.
No,
he's also a lot of English first division, no? How much of those 600?
It was 2 and 2, so 4 league titles, but 2 were Premier League. But that's just the era he's born in.
I'm just saying.
And the England team he was captain of, when you look at the other captains who are there, I'm just surprised you haven't got Tony Adams.
Obviously, people, so you're aware, Tony Adams was also here.
Hey,
don't get twisted. He was here. I went with preference. I love Sol Campbell. I love how aggressive he was. I liked just when the way he came to Arsenal, of course, but also just.
Wait, where did that come from?
he pulled that out of nowhere. Just in case.
Don't worry. Just make the right decision, Leah.
You're giving me a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah, I know. But listen, Tony Adams is here, but Sol Campbell for me is just. I just favour him.
Interesting.
Carvalho though.
First of all, they did him dirty with that picture.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, I remember with like curly,
curly long hair, right?
You know, it's the partnership. You know, I look at the centre backs and I say, I think in terms of Premier League centre backs, I think they're right up there. You probably only argue Rio and Vidic with them. I think all the stats point to those two being the best two partnership. And that 15 goals conceded season, I can't overlook it, ignore it. And respect to Sol Campbell, everyone talks highly of him, but my era of him, like Portsmouth.
I think Carvalho is so underrated, man, honestly. I might give the edge to Campbell just because I think his introduction to Arsenal was such an influence, such a catalyst in the era of dominance that they would have. Whereas Carvalho also was, but I think John Terry had so many different partners even after him. Gary Cahill was fantastic alongside him, and I don't think you felt Carvalho's departure as much as maybe Sol Campbell did, which honestly when they lost him, that was a big loss.
Think about we'll move to left back.
3 top centre backs there. That was
Carvalho
a bit cheeky though. Having 3
What is this now?
Look how many Chelsea.
He thinks he's Amram. He plays a back 3. Come on, give me 2 centre backs.
Let's go left back. Now I think we all know who's nailed on for left back, but why this is an interesting debate is it's the same name who's obviously played for both. So you've got Ashley Cole in his Arsenal days. You've got Ashley Cole in his Chelsea days.
Man, that's tough.
I'm actually not married to this one as much as I thought I'd be, but you know, he completed his trophy set at Chelsea, won everything there was to win at the club. But in terms of levels, he was so consistent throughout. You could pick Ashley Cole from 2002
like Kobe 8 and 24, man.
2010.
Which one do you want?
More appearances at Chelsea, more clean sheets as well, more trophies.
And everyone respects him over there. So really and truly,
no, listen.
I think he looked like natural Morel.
This is where he made his career. This is where he made it. He obviously he won 2 Premier League titles as well for Arsenal. Actually, he's phenomenal. He came through at a young age, and to this day, he's still the best, I believe, Premier League left back that the league's ever seen. So I think Arsenal, like I said, it started here, and that's where you
but you know what? You don't claim him, so I don't think you should deserve to put him up there. The fan base don't claim him.
He won more league titles with Arsenal, no?
Yeah, 2, and they
more league titles, but more trophies.
More trophies.
league titles.
Chelsea.
It's a Premier League, people.
He also won the Champions League at Chelsea.
There's a reason.
Premier League 11.
There's a reason they want to include Champions League, by the way.
Premier League 11. Premier League
Yes,
11.
You're very animated today, Cecil, aren't you?
I go Ashley Cole in that for Chelsea. I think
Chelsea.
the guy completed the set, man. Yeah, I go Ashley Cole.
Go on,
Chelsea.
stick him up.
Fair enough.
Yeah, even though the battles of Ronaldo were
Sit
good,
back.
but I go
Right, let's move on to midfield.
Yeah, go on.
Again, now there's quite a few differences. Let's start with one name that you've agreed on, and I don't think it will surprise many people. It is Super Frank Lampard.
What a player.
Again, one of the greatest midfielders in Premier League history. Where do you rank him in terms of the all-times?
He's easily, I think, in the top 3 in terms of when you talk about goal-scoring midfielders. Everyone who's compared to him really plays as like a second striker, as a number 10. He was doing it from the 8, scoring 15, 20 goals a season. And yeah, the reason why the man who might come up later didn't score as much was because of this guy, and he was pivotal in all the league titles that were won in his era.
Stick him up. We know he's on, don't we?
man.
I'm just intrigued.
Put him off the left, maybe.
Stick him up.
Next.
Yeah.
What's the next battle though? Because this is where it's going to get a bit
I think it's
sticky.
one of the toughest debates on the entire list. The next one, if I'm thinking correctly. Go ahead.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know if it's...
Yeah, that's so tough. This is so tough.
Patrick Vieira
Yeah, I think this
versus
is unbelievably
N'Golo
difficult.
Kante. Both
I mean, they're
Premier
two
League
great
winners.
Surely it's
It's
Vieira.
Vieira. It should be Vieira, but
I mean, like,
there's a
I
good
think
debate.
Kante
Two
has a
great
shout,
players.
man.
There's a good debate in it, but I think Patrick Vieira, again, another leader for Arsenal, an incredible leader. I think over Kante, as Kante got across the pitch and of course, in ball interceptions, but Patrick Vieira could do that as well. Physicality-wise, height-wise, aerial duels, the quality he has for the height he had as well. He's the dominance. Patrick Vieira. It can be a good debate, but I'm sorry, he's definitely...
Is your argument based on how tall Patrick Vieira is?
No. Invincible? I don't know if Kante got the
what are you saying
Invincible as well.
Kante is a PFA Player of the Year.
So is Vieira.
So is Vieira.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
That's before my time.
Come to the stage.
No, it's not. But like, Kante,
They're both a lot.
his impact across, as soon as he's touched Chelsea, that 16-17 season, I don't think we played the system we can without him. Then Sarri comes in and he plays a more advanced role, and he's still elite. Obviously, I know it's Premier League, but that Champions League run in 2021 was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was.
In terms of levels, in that period of time, there's not many you could say were better across the Premier League, let alone between both clubs. But yeah, Vieira was top as well.
I agree with that. In the terms of his position, there's been very few we've ever seen better. But I think if you're comparing both, he plays an era where his job is to break up play as a DM. Vieira had to do everything. He played in a 4-man midfield where he would break up play, score goals, get assists. He captained the Invincibles. He won a World Cup. I know he won a World Cup as well. Yeah. I think he's in the conversation of the greatest
could have done that role.
and also he's in the conversation of the greatest midfielders in Premier League history. And I'm not saying Kante isn't, but for me, I'm a Spurs fan, so I don't really mind either way. I think if you don't put Vieira in, you're going to get a lot of Arsenal fans.
I think Kante's unbelievable. I think if you were to include his Leicester time as well, too, Kante's thing becomes even more interesting. But I think Vieira, 3 Premier Leagues, PFA. I know Kante won it as well too.
Fair enough.
I think I honestly think he's the superior footballer of the two. I just think he could do everything. Vieira.
Agreed.
I did wrestle between the two of them.
This ball's looking very blue. I need it.
Okay, who's the next
blue.
one?
Iceman.
Oh,
okay, so slightly different.
And you went Arsenal as well too. Okay, interesting.
So you thought Fabregas at Arsenal was better than Fabregas at Chelsea?
Yeah, I thought it was unbelievable.
I believe that as well too.
Ridiculous. Like when you talk about a player that could do everything, especially in that time,
At that age.
goals, assists, at that age, taking the mantle, taking the responsibility of a club that was on a slide at that point in time. And I think the only thing that hurts his legacy is, going to Spain for those few years and come back to Chelsea. But if he never plays for Chelsea, I think Arsenal fans would probably have him in this list for what he did in that time.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I have both cards. I was toying with the
Why
idea
have you got
of
so
Cesc
many
Fabregas.
cards?
True.
Got
I was
options.
toying with the idea of Cesc Fabregas, and of course that might seem was, but Dennis Bergkamp.
What a player.
I had to find a way to put him in this team.
100%.
And what he's done for just what he did for Arsenal when he arrived, all the ex-players talk about it, like Arsenal went to another level. They made another beautiful game through Wenger the way we play, but the epitome of that was Dennis Bergkamp. The way he
If you want to see a
glided
player
with
that
the ball,
scored
assists.
a range of Premier League goals, technical ability
Yeah,
for a
his goal
range of Premier League
catalogue is
goals.
incredible.
His goal catalogue is
Didn't he have
unrivaled.
3 goals nominated
Insane.
for Premier League Goal of the Month once?
The Newcastle one, the Leicester one. There's
And the Newcastle one, and the people always debated if he meant it. And he said, no, I meant it.
Elias?
I think the biggest compliment you can give to Bergkamp is the way his teammates and competitors talk about him.
agreed.
I mean, Henri raves about this guy.
Yeah.
Bergkamp for me is maybe the most technically gifted footballer the Premier League has ever seen.
Agreed.
So I go Dennis
So
Bergkamp.
Bergkamp?
Dennis.
I mean,
You're a football man.
Come on, man.
Cool. Shout out some of the other names. I know that not saying they'd be in the 11, but obviously there've been something like Essien, Makaleli, Petit, Gilberto Silva. Just shouting them out. Not saying they'd be in, but worth a shout out.
Okay, the front line. Let's go with a player that you agree on to make it a bit easier.
Surely there's got to be one name.
Wait.
Yeah?
What do you mean, wait?
Okay.
Okay,
cool.
Don't worry.
I was worried
had to
for a
check my
moment
words.
there, Sesko. I really was.
Sam,
but
just if you said earlier, if Hazard's not in this, you'd have.
yeah, no, I would have
not been
walked out.
I would have walked out. I would have walked out too, by the way. Huh?
But-
I would have walked out
But I
too.
love it. Carell, how good was Hazard?
He's the best player I've watched live. Like, but with my own two eyes in the stadium, bear in mind, I've watched him a load of times, but like on his day, like I was there when he scored that West Ham goal that gets played over and over. I was in the stadium watching it, like, what has he just done? And that's how I felt watching him. Yes, there's the argument that could he have done more if he was a bit more aggressive and applied himself a little bit more. I don't care. He loved the game and he played it the way he wanted to, and Chelsea won off the back of it. So from the moment we got there in 2012 to when he left in 2019, you could argue he was one of the best players in the Premier League, if not the best.
Hurts me putting this up.
What a
It hurts me.
Let's
putting
put him
up. I can't lie,
up.
it hurts me.
Let's put him up.
16, 17 goal as well that he scored. Let me make sure I get. There we go.
I think when he wanted to, he could win games by himself. Hazard. He was unplayable. Seriously.
Very good point, that, actually, because a lot of his teammates said that he actually wasn't the best trainer. He used to turn up with his shoelaces undone. He just used to didn't need to try.
But they give him that liberty, though. They give him that liberty because
they give him the freedom to almost like play where he wants.
Footballers have that though.
Game
Some are training players. Some are they just turn off on the match.
Tevez was the same for United. But when you have a guy who can win you a game single-handedly, you train how you want, man.
Yeah, do what you want.
Don't bother.
Next two, then, because there's a bit. Leah, I just want to get your thoughts on this. They've chopped and
I've
changed
seen
a
this,
little bit to get.
I have not chopped and
Reveal
changed.
the two.
Let's see.
I have not chopped and changed.
You got on
Right in-
Saka.
Sesko, come on, man.
What?
Let's not be ridiculous.
Let's go, Leah.
Let's not be ridiculous.
Why am I with Saka? Oh, it's been ridiculous.
It's being ridiculous, man.
Oh, come
Is
on,
he
man.
even the best option that Arsenal could have had as a winger? You could have even thrown Pires maybe on the right. I know he's more left side dominant,
I
but
hear that, but I think by the end.
whoa. We're talking 2026 right now. No, we're not talking about by the end. We're talking about right now.
No, but
Live in the moment.
Bukayo Saka. I think people they disrespect Bukayo Saka so much at the moment as well. By the way, for what he's done for us when he came through as left wing back and the versatility that he's shown, he's put Arsenal on their back.
But all time,
you're talking about guys
all
who have done
time,
more than
all
that.
the players that could be mentioned in this
listen,
conversation.
I haven't mixed up positions. I've gone with the actual position of player and the actual
Hear me
position of
out.
player.
So the way I looked at it was, so Eden Hazard has played on the right for Chelsea,
Yes.
so I had that.
Fair. But more from
Henry,
the left.
in every 11 that ever gets put out, he always gets shunted off to the left. So that was fair. And
happen.
King Didier was in the middle. I didn't see.
I like that
I'll
team.
be honest, I didn't see
Yeah.
a right winger
Yeah.
like
I
that
love
jumped
that.
off the
Well.
page for me to say that. Oh, I'll do it. I thought you were gonna put like Alexis Sanchez
Yeah,
and then something like that.
Oh, could have put him.
But Bukayo Saka for me, man. Are you guys really going to put Drogba?
No, Saka.
Yeah,
Saka,
you're
Saka,
going to
Drogba,
put Drogba.
Saka.
Sorry, no, look at these names. So you're putting Thierry
bro.
on the right. That's
No,
disrespect.
I'm not.
You put
I
Hazard
was
on the
gonna put
right.
Hazard on the right, Thierry on the left, Drogba up.
So
top.
Drogba's gone on the right.
Let's bring Leah in.
Yes, yeah, what you said. Yes.
I like what Sasso's thinking here. I'm putting Hazard on the right. I'm putting Drogba up front. I'm putting Henry on the left. That's the best attack
There
you
we
can
go.
get,
Yeah,
man.
okay.
Come on, that three right there
Correct.
is destroying
He's
you.
spoken, Cecil.
I'm going that way. Can you help me? You put Hazard down on the right. And
Why are you doing this?
Move Hazard there.
Come on.
This is where you should put Drogba on the right.
Look, man. Even Henry would say, "Yeah, we'll play that three." Even he would admit it. That's a devastating front three. by the way.
That is a
We'll
crazy
put-
front
We'll
three.
put Hazard on the right. We'll play Henry on the left.
Nice.
And we play Didier up front.
Yeah.
That's a team, man. Come on.
King
Henry.
Didier in the middle.
Put Didier there. You know how many goals he scored against you, man. Put him up there.
I think this team right here, seriously, I mean, you have the big game killer in Drogba. You have
Yeah.
Henry, I think the best player in the Prem.
Yeah.
And then Hazard, for me, on his day, just unplayable.
That
front
man.
three would beat
That is
Yeah.
I think it's a great team, seriously.
I'm telling you, that team would go crazy.
Yeah, so
Henry,
there it is. There is confirmation of the combined all-time Premier League Arsenal and Chelsea 11. Only four
you not happy
Arsenal
about?
players.
I think when you look at profile, when you look at skill set, talent, he can go to the. I sound like Redknapp here. He can go to the very top. He can go down as one of the best strikers the Premier League has seen, but he's not there yet.
There's been a lot of chat this week, hasn't there, about strikers, the informed strikers in the Premier League. We saw goals from Sesko, and yes, we saw goals from Gyökeres, as everyone keeps reminding me.
João Pedro as well.
João Pedro as well. So there's been a bit of debate about number 9. So we thought now was a good time to rank every Premier League club's number 9 on the whiteboard. Lias, you're going to lead this. Categories A to E, A being the best, E being the worst. And of course, we need one name, at least one name, in each category. We'll get Cecil and Carell's thoughts as you go on. Before we get started, though, Cecil, you were a bit of a baller back in the day, weren't you? A striker. A little bit.
He said just a little bit.
We've actually got a picture of you, just a little bit, in your Crawley Town days.
Look at him.
Look at it. Talk to me about
The same
bib.
smile, different trim.
That was it was
Striker.
feels like a long time ago. Obviously, a striker was what I grew up playing. I never vaulted from any other position. Obviously, watched Thierry Henry. Got inspired by him and thought I could be the next Thierry Henry. Didn't make it that far.
Comparing yourself to Henry.
Well,
No,
I've got a magnet.
no.
There we go.
No, I love Sky.
It's upside down.
Thank you. To what percent?
It's up. Well,
Where you putting yourself? Where you putting yourself?
no,
Is that what I actually did?
Mum, take a photo. Take a photo, please. Take a photo.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Mum.
Crazy.
I love that. I love that. No, you can keep it up there. You can keep it up there. Yeah, of course, keep it up there.
You might get moved
Wow.
to
Keep it
Egypt,
up
like,
there. But let's get onto the actual Premier League.
So by the way,
number
you're a
9.
striker. You understand the position, right? You know what it takes to be a good striker. You know what it takes to not be a good striker, right? So let's be respectful here, but let's also be objective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Okay.
Can we do that?
Respect.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
And honest.
And honest.
Okay.
We like
Let's do it.
honesty.
Let's
When he
get
said he knows what it
started.
takes to be a striker, he didn't say good striker.
That's okay as well, too. That's okay. There's some guys on
Okay,
here.
let's get started with Arsenal, obviously, alphabetical order. Victor Gyökeres, probably the most talked about striker this season.
Yeah.
Scored
Yeah.
10 goals, 26 appearances, probably the most informed striker since Christmas as well.
No.
It's joint.
That's not true.
It's not.
In all
That's
competitions.
the most goals in the Premier League since
We're talking about
2026.
Gyökeres, so let's start with Gyökeres.
Okay.
Let's start with
Let's
Gyökeres.
start.
I knew.
It's like honesty. I like honesty. Go ahead.
Where are we putting him on this?
Come on, bro.
Gerd Müller Trophy in Portugal. Let's not forget he won all the goals he scored. I know it's not the Premier League, but we've got to talk about him
In the
as a
Premier League
striker.
Bro,
right
it's this
now.
season,
Premier
man.
League
I know,
Just
right
accept
now.
his face.
I know
Accept
this
his
season.
face.
This season.
I
Go
haven't
with your
been
heart.
impressed by Gyökeres. I'm not going to lie. I have not been impressed by Gyökeres. I know he came in for a lot of money. There was all the talk about how many goals he'd scored in Portugal, but I don't think his adaptation to the Premier League has been smooth whatsoever. I understand how many goals he's scored, but I think when you actually look into context, who the goals are coming against, the quality of the goals, then you look at his record against the sides higher up in the table, then you look at his real lack of even getting chances in most games, you look at the lack of hold-up play. I find that anytime he tries wrestling with defenders, he ends up on the ground a lot of the times. I don't think he has really adapted to the way Arsenal want to play or in the Premier League well. What I will give him is I actually think if you were playing for a lower team in the Premier League where maybe up against more high lines, playing more in transition, I think it would show his strengths more. But I don't think his game translates to the way elite teams want to play, and I think it's been shown at Arsenal this season.
I agree with when he arrived, he's not what I think many Arsenal fans expected for obviously the goal record before. But I will say, Arsenal, we brought in a top striker. We scored goals against the top teams last season. It's the teams that are the lesser teams that cause Arsenal problems. We struggled against last season.
You guys told him when he came, he doesn't have to score against big teams.
No,
because we didn't do it.
no one told him that, but he's scoring, right, for me, now important goals. This is where I need him to really step up. He hasn't been what I expected, I'll be honest. He hasn't came into Arsenal and adapted straight away, but I don't think we can disrespect him saying that he's not a quality, not a good striker. We can't do that.
Well, yes, it's your list. Where'd you put him?
For me, it's C or D. I'm not gonna lie. I think
we can't do D.
Yeah,
That's
I think
your list.
disrespectful. That's
It's
Go with your
Lias-
heart.
it is
Go with your
Lias's
heart,
list.
Lias.
I'm going D, man. I don't think
wow.
Gyökeres stands out like that. In fact, I think the job he's doing, the goals he scored, I think a lot of strikers in the Premier League would probably do similar to what he's doing.
Okay.
I don't really rate Gyökeres that highly. Wow.
Let's move on to Ollie Watkins from Villa. 8 goals and 26 appearances. Where'd you put Ollie?
He's streaky, man. With Watkins, he's obviously been such a good Premier League striker over the last 10 years now. He's been in the league for quite a long time. Maybe not 10 years quite so much, but maybe the last 5 or 6 years.
He's had a great career.
Yeah, he's honestly
Villa's
done
record
bits.
Premier League goal scorer.
Yeah,
83 goals.
He's done unbelievably. He's even transitioned into being a player for England that's scored in big games for them. I think this season, and even last year as well too, but really this year, I think he's become even streakier. The goals have not come as consistently. He had a really hot patch at one point in the season, but I don't think this is the best version of Ollie Watkins anymore. I think there are a few guys that have maybe surpassed him, and maybe you can even look into next summer. Do Villa look to move on from him? Because I think even at
I
times
think they've tried a few times.
They've gone
They brought in so many strikers to compete with Ollie Watkins, but he has been quite consistent. I think it's just, I think like you said, he's quite inconsistent.
Yeah.
But he's a good striker.
Yeah. His hold-up play, his channel running is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I think the finishing now is just becoming a little unreliable for Villa.
Where'd you stick him?
I would actually go C. I think a year ago I would go B or A, but I think at this current moment...
So you put him in C, above Gyökeres, but below Cecil.
Cecil still leads the list.
Who's next? Evan Nilsson.
Evan Nilsson came into the league a year ago, or he joined last season, obviously. I think he had a decent debut campaign for Bournemouth. They obviously were flying last year, but I think Bournemouth's decline as of this season has also reflected in his performances as well too. I think he tries a lot. I think Evan Nilsson is a handful. He likes to get involved. I don't think his finishing is the greatest. I don't think he's the cleanest striker up front. For that reason, I'm probably putting him as well in D territory. When I look at the strikers in the Premier League, guys, I don't really see too many players I find to be the best strikers in the world. I think there's a few on this list that are going to rank extremely high. But I don't think if you're looking at the position on average in the Premier League, we're really looking at the best position in the Prem. I think we're lacking a bit of quality in that regard.
I agree with that.
Let's go, speaking of that though, someone who deserves his flowers, Igor Thiago, 17 goals in 27 Premier League appearances. Shout out to Brentford as well, the season that they're having. Only Haaland has scored more Premier League goals this season. I hope you're going to say some positive things about him, because I've been so impressed with him this season.
100%. There's nothing negative I can say about him.
Yeah.
Igor Thiago has really taken the league by storm. He joined obviously the season before, but was out through injury, and Mbemo and Wissa's amazing form almost made him the forgotten man. But this season, he has really taken the mantle off of them, and Brentford have not missed a beat, and a lot of that is down to him. I think obviously the goals are incredible, but I look at the way he plays. There was obviously that game against you guys where maybe that lack of pace really prevented him from scoring that goal he wanted, but his overall hold-up play, his link-up play, I find him to be a very technically good player.
So that's why he's a bit of a nuisance. He has a lot to his game. I think I speak to a lot of Brentford fans. I said his heading ability is not the greatest, but apart from that, he can be strong, physical, hold up the ball well, and he's got a good range of goals out at that. How the amount of goals he scored this season. So I think he's got to go high.
You think of the amount of talented Brazilians as well, boy. This is an amazing stat. His 17 goals this season is a record for any Brazilian player in a single Premier League season ever.
Incredible.
Maybe it shows you, though, they haven't had the best Brazilians in the Premier League when it comes to
there is that. Okay. Sorry, Igor, if you're watching.
He's doing bits, but
stick him out.
We're not the Brazilians watching, sorry.
The Brazilians, they go to Real Madrid and Barcelona, man. They're not coming to the Prem normally. So I go B. Igor Thiago's been amazing.
There's a lot of Brazilians in this list, actually.
Got a season pro next.
I don't know if that's as high as
Season pro.
Yeah, Danny Welbeck, old reliable.
Still
man,
doing
seriously.
it at 30.
I think the best thing you can say about Welbeck is just how he's evolved his game and managed to stay in the Premier League still at this point. Because there was a period with Danny Welbeck around when he was at Watford towards the end. I think Watford got relegated. Welbeck was kind of seen as an afterthought, but the way he's reinvented his game and elongated his career, he's a fantastic professional. He keeps himself in incredible shape. And what he's doing for Brighton at this current age, I think is remarkable.
Yeah. Carell, thoughts on Welbeck? Still going strong?
I love Welbeck. I think his only time he's ever spent outside the Premier League was on loan at Preston.
Yeah.
And
Sunderland. Outside of
But he's been consistent. And then this season, the way he started the season, I was so happy for him, seeing him score goals, because he's one of my favourite strikers. You know those players that you love. They're not up there, but they're
heroes.
Cult heroes. He's my cult hero.
He scored big goals for Brighton. Where do you put him?
I put him C.
Do you know what, Sam and I have interviewed a lot of Brighton players as well, and a lot of what they say about what he brings off the pitch as well, the leadership, the team, we're helping the young players as well. I cannot underestimate that. Right, next up, Burnley.
Can I be honest with you guys? I find him underrated. I actually find Fleming underrated. I've watched him a bit this season at Burnley, and I'm not going to come out here and put him at A. I probably put him at D as well too, but I don't think a lot of people watch this guy play, but if you do, I think his array of finishing is actually quite impressive. He's got 6 Premier League goals this season. Obviously got the equalizer against your boys this past weekend, but I honestly think Fleming is better than a lot of people would probably expect. So I'm going to put him in D.
Move on to Chelsea. Crow, let's come to you for this one. Obviously it's Lias's ranking, we'll get to him, but as a Chelsea fan, give us your thoughts on João Pedro's season.
I think João Pedro is a great all-round player. He gets involved well. Great touches of the ball. My only gripe with him is I just don't feel like he shoots enough. Like you see a goal that he scored against Napoli, for example. He's got a strike off both feet. You saw the goals he scored in the Club World Cup, but he just doesn't shoot enough for my liking. Maybe because he's not a natural number 9, he's kind of plugging a hole while the likes of Delap haven't been around. But I would say when you look at the current crop of Premier League strikers, he's still doing enough to be right in the mix as like a mid to high tier striker for me.
I really like João Pedro.
I love him.
I'll be honest. I think I saw him when he was at Watford and thought he's a player. I think I similarly link him to like Gabriel Jesus when you say he doesn't shoot as much. Jesus is like that, but the ability I think he has. Obviously, 11 goals this season in the league as well. I think it pains me to say it, but I like João Pedro for a long time. I think he's a good player.
I think he's been one of the star men under Liam Rosinha as well. So where would you put him?
I agree with everything you guys say. I put him at B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's important when a new manager comes in, who do you improve? I think João Pedro is his guy right now that he is.
And he's shooting more.
Level.
I hear what you're saying, but he's definitely shooting more under.
Should we go to Palace then? Strand Larsen, moved from Wolves to Palace.
Yeah, it was fantastic last year for Wolves, the first half of the season couldn't find the back of the goal to save his life. But that move to Palace has really done him a world of good. He's started scoring again.
Scored more goals for Palace than he has at Wolves.
2 goals, 1 assist in 4 appearances.
He's a good player. If we're being real, I thought the transfer fee was a bit excessive, but that's not in his control. What is in his control is performing well. And I actually think when you look at his archetype of striker, he's able to hold up the ball. He's able to bring others into play. He's a decent finisher as well too. I'm thinking C, but it's really up to you guys. I think I could hear D based on his first half of the season, but I think when I look at his overall play as a striker, I think I could argue C.
It have to be D.
Could be.
You guys were thinking D?
Not enough production yet.
But I think Trent Larson is solid. I'm not going to lie. I think in a year's time we could have him higher.
Who have we got next?
Tierno Berry.
Great celebrations.
I like Barry. Honestly, hey, he's got a great Instagram page as well too. He's a character. I like Barry, and I think he's raw. Honestly, when I watch him play, I think he's got good feet. He's obviously quite big for his size as well too. But I don't find him to be, and it's natural. He's still young, but I think there's still a long way for him to learn the ropes. Obviously, struggled a lot in the earlier bits of the season, trying to get used to the league. I think that has improved. But I still think when I look at Everton, between himself and Beto, who I think he is better than, but between the two of them, I still think Everton are really missing a presence up front. And I think maybe he can become that, but I don't find him at that level yet.
It's a perfect assessment. I think he's just getting used. I think he's still finding his feet when it comes to being a striker, a dominant striker in the Premier League. I think that was the right assessment there. He's still a good player, though. Definitely a handful.
Most aerial duels won in the Premier League of any player. So it's decent in the air, but your list, Lias, where are you sticking him?
I feel like I'm packing this tier here, but I still put him here. Maybe do we have time to move at the end? We'll leave him here for then now.
Next up, Raul Jimenez from.
Similar, all reliable, man. Raul Jimenez has been in the league for so long. I used to love him at Wolves before. Obviously, that unfortunate.
I think it's worth mentioning that as well because he was an elite player linked with United, Spurs linked with huge clubs.
I think he was the best aerial threat in the Premier League.
I agree, and I think just the fact that he's back on a football field playing is so good to see. So I'm glad you mentioned.
But even more so than that, he's just not playing. I think he's actually found a real return to form this season. Honestly, he's scoring goals again. He's obviously a handful. I like Raul Jimenez a lot.
I've worked with him obviously when we were in Mexico with CONCACAF, and obviously he's the top 3 leading goal scorers of Mexico forever. I think he's a quality player. I'm a big Raul Jimenez fan, so please be nice.
124 caps for Mexico, 44 goals.
Unbelievable.
8 goals this season, 3 assists.
Had a great career as well.
Is a C, man. Honestly, I think I'm really happy to see him back.
People don't talk about
level,
what's that?
This man, Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Not a chat about Calvert-Lewin this season.
What he's done, I mean, I think a lot of people looked at that move to Leeds this season and maybe sniffed. Are Leeds really trying to be serious in the Premier League this season? Calvert-Lewin, the last few years, had his injury problems, was basically the forgotten man at Everton. But I give him so much credit because, again, his return to form has been so huge in keeping Leeds in a position where at the moment they look like they can survive. His goals in that little period where they were fighting every single game, looking to stay up, have been massive. We know in terms of aerial threat, again, this is one of the most dangerous players in the Premier League. So again, I'm happy to him. Similar like Raul Jimenez. I think this season, based on his form, he's a C. As a player, I think he's more in D.
I think that's
What do you think in terms of the England debate? Obviously, Kane fully fit starts, but the second striker, whoever comes off the bench as the sort of next player, you've got Watkins. Obviously, Tony's not playing in the Premier League anymore. How do you rate Calvert-Lewin's chances of being on the squad?
That's a good question.
It's an outside shot because he's probably a completely different profile to all of them in terms of having that aerial threat, being more of a presence. Obviously, Watkins gives you that in behind.
Yeah.
But as a second striker, I like Tony still. And I know people look at it and say he's not in the Premier League, he's playing in Saudi, but he's still banging in goals over there. And sometimes you just need someone who's hot, scoring, confident to go to the World Cup and just be that backup to Harry Kane.
Okay, stick him up, yes?
I'm going to put him again at D. I know we're packing this tier
He was thinking about it so much. He was looking at C, D.
For me, I'm more worried. We're going to have enough space for the rest of them, but we'll put him.
The A category is tough to get into.
I think...
I'm not putting Ekitike in A. As much as I love Ekitike, I think Ekitike's potential is through the roof. But I think only one man belongs in A, and I think it's a disservice to put anyone there along. Maybe Cecil sits in front of that, but this is not about that guy. This is about Ekitike. I think Ekitike. He hasn't moved yet.
Unreal.
I think Ekitike is unbelievable. I think when you look at profile, when you look at skill set, talent. He can go to the. I sound like Redknapp here. He can go to the very top. I honestly think Ekitike can go to the very top. He can go down as one of the best strikers the Premier League has seen, but he's not there yet. He's not. His game is still a little raw. There are games where I think you are still missing a little bit of poise. I would like to see him maybe a bit more a threat in the box. I think his best play comes facing the goal, running at players, and he is terrifying when he does that. He has had moments this year where you can see a real star in the making. But I think the best is yet to come from Ekitike, which is why I'm going to put him at B.
Fair.
I think with the potential to one day get an A.
What happens to him when Isak comes back? Because I know the first time round when he came back from injury, that type of conversation ruined his form a little bit?
I think he's built for it. I think Hugo, I think he's built for that challenge. I think at first he felt disrespected at first, but I think the mental side to his game now, especially the run he's had and the goals he's been scoring, I think he'll rise to that. I see something in him that in a striker I think it's a bit lost at times. Is that arrogance, that swag, that ability, that belief in yourself. Yeah. He has that. So I think he rises.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ekitike and how he's adapted to the league. 10 in 24 though, same as Calvert-Lewin, 10 in 24. So you could argue Calvert-Lewin's a bit done dirty.
Maybe we'll move on. Potentially. This is no debate. And this is why, as much as I love Ekitike, I'm sorry. Until Ekitike
but he needs his own tier, man.
And that tier is A. Maybe we make an S tier for the future. But until Ekitike can show me he can score 50 goals in a year, I'm sorry, guys. There's no competition here. Haaland is redefining goal scoring in the Premier League. He's one of the best goal scorers I've ever seen, flat out. I expect him, if he stays in this league long enough, to absolutely shatter Alan Shearer's record, unfortunately. I put him A. I think he's unbelievable.
Fastest player ever to 100 Premier League goals.
The numbers speak for themselves. Like, you don't even have to talk about a player like that.
This is someone that...
Someone you don't have to talk about.
Let's see if he's going to be real.
Go on then.
Let's see how you're going to talk now.
I love this kid, you know. I
can tell.
I love him. And you know what I like about... There's been so much noise about Sesko all season long. I think a lot of it is unjust. I think from the word go, he was dealt a rotten set of hands. And I think the reason for it is his predecessor, Rasmus Haaland, who was also a young striker, struggled so much. And a lot of Man United fans maybe had PTSD about that and were reluctant to see the club go for another young striker. And he's had his injury problems, he's had his form problems, but I think he's really starting to his best level at the moment. He has the most goals. I think HMRC, don't do me here, but I think since 2026, no one has scored more Premier League goals alongside. I think it's him and Igor Thiago have the most goals. He is on fire at the moment. You look at the finishing at the moment as well too. The amount of times he's saving Man United off the bench as well. I look at what he possesses as a striker, and I think again, you give him a bit more time to develop, similar to Ekitike, I think he can go and be one of the best strikers in this league.
Karel, do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I've had the pleasure of watching him live as well a few times this season, and it's just when you see the type of chances he gets, the way some of the finishes he's had this season. I know, like, the debate earlier we had was like Gyökeres and Sesko, but you can watch Sesko and see him, how he takes a chance, how he positions himself and go, right, this guy's someone who can score 20, 25 goals in this league once he matures. I don't see the same for Gyökeres, which is why I'm inclined, even though he's got less goals this season.
And less minutes, by the way. Less minutes. He probably has the best goals per minute ratio in the Premier League. And by the way, I'm sorry, that speed for the Everton goal, that's scary. Let's call that what it is. That is frightening. But I'm talking about the speed to go from his own half and outspeed Tarkowski. I know Tarkowski's not Mbappe here, but to get on the end of that chance is outrageous.
But what did you say? They say could be the best striker.
No, I said he can be one of the best strikers in this league. He can be.
Where would you put him now, though? Where would you put him?
I'm putting him at B, man.
Okay.
I'm putting him at B.
Oh.
It is your list.
It is your list.
It is your list.
It is your list.
Next up.
Nicolas Woltemade. Woltemade has been, he had a very good start to the season. That is unquestionable. I think as of late, he's actually playing more as a midfielder under Eddie Howe. Anthony Gordon has almost been turned into a center forward under him. I think Woltemade has a lot of brilliant skills to him. I think he's very talented for his size, good touch, great footballing mind as well too. I think at the moment he's maybe struggling because of the way Newcastle are trying to play, but I think under a different manager potentially, and maybe in the World Cup for Germany, we're also going to see again a player that one day you can look at and be one of the best strikers in this league.
So where are we putting him?
For me, C or B. What are you guys thinking?
C.
C for Woltemade.
C.
I like him a lot as well too.
I like his profile, but
we put him at C.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Next up, another Brazilian.
Igor Jesus.
There is a lot.
If this was a Europa League list, he would be an S tier, honestly. He's a Romario over there. In the Premier League, I don't think it's translated as well. I think he's missed some big chances. I think at times he's struggled to really get going, and Forest have really paid for that. They're missing Chris Wood from last season.
He lashes at the ball.
I think he's a fighter up there. He's a real handful for defenders. He really throws himself about, but I think the quality at the moment is just missing, and I think it's hurting Forest a lot. I put him maybe even E, to be honest with you guys.
If that's what you
we got to have one.
I have one.
yeah, but I wouldn't have said he was the one.
But yeah, I would put him at D.
Oh, it's been changed. Okay.
Jesus. Yeah. Europa League. He's scoring so many goals in Europe.
Sunderland next.
Brian Roby. You're talking about handful. I'm sorry, you're talking about handful. This is maybe the biggest handful in the Premier League. Wow, you get back to goal against Brian Roby. It's lights out. You know it. I know it.
I saw Gabriel Saliba.
Wait, was that Tossin that he did that too?
Yeah, Tossin and Chalobah held them up.
He's unreal when it comes to back to the goal play. And I think, to be fair, in front of goal as well too, he's been decent for Sunderland. So I put him at C.
Okay.
I put him at C tier.
Wow. Okay.
Solanke has missed so much time through
Solanke's not
injury.
played a lot, he's only played 8 games,
Yeah,
I
I
think.
like Solanke a lot.
Yeah.
I really think Solanke is a talented striker, but unfortunately, the lack of availability really kills him here because I think when he's fit and firing,
Yeah.
he's probably B as well too.
Yeah.
But
He might have goal of the season for him. That
Yeah.
he might
I put him at C because I know the quality Solanke possesses. I'm
Yeah.
going to put him at C tier. I am. Yeah, I think Solanke's a good player.
Above good points.
Yeah.
Says so.
Yeah, that's
It's also what he does for the team as a Spurs
Yeah.
fan as well. And anyone else plays there, the hold-up play and how he brings everyone else. He does a lot off the ball, Solanke, which I don't think
That's
really.
what Victor does as well.
Last two
tries.
players. Don't forget, we need one in each category. Last two
Yeah,
players.
Tati Castellanos joined obviously in January from Lazio. Scored on his debut.
Yeah.
Decent link-up play. Works really hard for West Ham. The fans have already kind of fell in love with him. I just wonder, does he have the quality up front to be a West Ham striker? Because that's been the question mark for a lot of players they signed over the last few years. I'm not entirely convinced, and for that reason, I think he might be my first entry into. I know West Ham fans aren't going to like that, but I think I need to see a little more. I watched him at Lazio. I didn't think he was unbelievable, so let's see. He was quite good in Spain, though.
Amazingly, scored 4 goals in one game
against Real
for Girona
Madrid.
against Real
Yeah, yeah.
Madrid.
He was on MLS
And
as well,
the
too,
first
yeah.
player to score 4 goals against Madrid since 1947. It's an
That's a
incredible
great stat to have on
Anyway,
there.
it's a mad stat, isn't it? Adam Armstrong, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Where are you putting him?
I'm going to put him at E as well, too. Adam Armstrong has had a few stints in the Premier League. None of them have lasted that long. I think he's got a decent record in the Championship, which unfortunately is probably where Wolves will end up.
Okay, so there is the confirmation. Any that you want to rearrange? That's all.
I think some need to.
What are we thinking?
I think Barry needs to go down.
Barry E. Yeah, I think I'm going too much off potential of Barry, so
Yeah.
I can definitely hear that. We put Tierno Barry
Okay.
at.
That's the only move. Got it.
At E.
Sesko at
You got another one?
I like Sesko. at B, man.
Benjamin
I like
Sesko.
Sesko.
I won't have
at
him
B.
at B either.
Like that Grimsby
Yeah,
Town
what's my
game
list?
and
So
stuff
how
like
about
that.
I know.
That Grimsby Town game as well.
Okay.
Where was he playing?
Grimsby
If
Town
you're
is-
thinking about it too much, we can leave it as that. We can
that's-
leave it as that.
But a man scored 10 goals and he's in D.
Let's leave it as that.
I'm
and
gonna
then-
put Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah,
Calvert-Lewin.
We'll see. We'll see in the break. We'll see in the
Put
break
Calvert-Lewin
if
up to
there's
C. There you go.
any changes.
Yeah, we'll put Calvert-Lewin up to
Okay,
C.
there we have it.
There
There
you go.
is confirmation of Lias's ranking of every Premier League team's number 9.